Hi, it's Nelly, and today I'm sharing the work of Tony Capellan from the Dominican Republic in honor of Earth Day. On April 22nd, we celebrate Earth Day. Earth Day is an annual event that is celebrated worldwide to raise awareness about environmental issues and encourage people to take action to protect the planet. And this is the work I'm sharing today. I'll give you a couple of close-ups so that you can see what it's made of. As you can see, it's made of rubber sandals. And something curious on the rubber sandals is that instead of the usual rubber, what you see on these flip-flops are barbed wire. And so it seems that what the artist has done is manipulate the sandal and removed the particular rubber strip and put barbed wire on it. Let's take a closer look. Here's another close-up. And another one. What do you notice? Okay, so before we answer that question, the work is called MarCaribe, Caribbean Sea. It's from 1996. It's made of plastic and rubber sandals with barbed wire, and it's from the collection of El Museo del Barrio. The artist, like I mentioned before, is Tony Capellan. He was born in 1955 and he died in 2017. He was born in a place called Tamboril in the Dominican Republic. And what you'll see next are different variations of this particular work. This is considered installation art. It's where the actual room, the actual space becomes the work of art. Here it is in a rectangle shape. And here it is like a mound. So every time this work gets re-exhibited in a particular space, the shape changes. Here it's on a pedestal, up against a wall. And here, almost like a trickle, like a flow of sandals. So just to tell you a little bit more about this work, it's from 1996, as I mentioned. It makes reference to the pollution in the Osama River that actually bisects Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic. So this river tends to overflow and carry with it all of the items that are on the shore, items that belong to people that live in the shanty towns and in some of the poorer areas of Santo Domingo. And these items are then carried away and carried into the Caribbean Sea. So it's definitely a commentary on the environmental situation that is happening in the waters of particularly the Dominican Republic. And it's intriguing, right? Because Capellan uses these beautiful shades of blue and green. He makes this work very enticing and actually beautiful to look at. He draws us in and hits us with this serious, difficult issue that is happening. This particular one here, the one on the pedestal, the sandals on the pedestal, makes me think of how he's trying to position the people, give them a voice, putting them on a pedestal, having people reckon with the fact that this is going on in this part of the world. I always like to bring in the artist's words so that we can learn more about the work from the maker. With MarCaribe, I began my series of multiple works. These are works that will always belong to me and that I will continue to create as long as the sea brings me objects, as long as the social situations that support them continue. My theory is that the day when we will not have any more poor people to lose their flip-flops, that day is when I will not be able to work anymore. And as long as there are poor people who lose their shoes, I can continue my work. Tony Capellán. This is another work very similar to the one we saw. Same idea, using laundry detergent bottles. And here the variations of the blues and the greens really just look beautiful to the eye. This is another perspective of that same work. And here it is again. Not detergent bottles. I think these are parts of garbage canisters, but still monochromatic, that same blue to reference the sea. Here, again, same concept, but using toothbrushes and what looks like plastic wiffle balls. These are a bit more colorful. And here we have toys, some of the toys that are washed into the sea as well. And when I first featured this work of art and I showed them to a group of participants, this is what I asked them in order to motivate them to do artwork in response to the work of Tony Capellán. How might you show an issue that is important to you with shades and tints of one color? And on this Earth Day, maybe this is something you might want to introduce to your child, your student, your students, yourself. What I have here is a tray of different shades and tints of blues and greens. This is, like I said, an activity that you can do. He wanted to bring attention to this particular issue, and he did it in his own way. And I'm wondering, how might you do it? How might you bring attention to a particular issue this Earth Day using tints and shades of blue? This is my interpretation. I did a torn collage. I was just thinking of the environment, the land, and my wish and my desire to help preserve our natural resources. Here is the work again. One of the things that I love about this work is Tony Capellán's desire to bring attention to this particular issue. And particularly in museums, he says that in museums, people are having conversations. They're looking to have a dialogue, to be challenged. And I also like to do that in museums and in presenting artwork in general. And I know that ever since I learned about Tony Capellán's work and the issue that he's referencing, I too have been doing my own research. And I love that about art, that we can study and allow ourselves to be challenged. And I hope that you were challenged today in enjoying and learning about this work of art by Tony Capellán. If you want to know more, you can follow me on IG at Nelarte. You can also sign up for my email list on my website, nelarte.com. And I hope to see you again when I talk about another work of art here on my YouTube channel. Thank you.